Hey, yo, once again, we back at you. It's your boy So Busy, Boss Talk 94303, sponsored by Stay Busy Apparel. You dig? So, yo, check this out. I got a few things on my mind today. So, this is going to be a solo conversation between me and between you. So, if you don't want to hear it, I'm going to holler at you. Like I told you before, if you ain't one of those that weren't ready to look in the mirror and see and decide if you happy with what you see or not, get on up out of here. You know what I mean? I don't got time for it. This is what we're gonna do today. Today's show is gonna be called the cattle call. You might ask, what's the cattle call? You know, when you're a farmer or when you know how to move animals, when you got cows and you want to move the cows, you know, you can't just pick them up and move them. If they don't want to go the way they want to go, if they don't want to go the way that you want them to go, they can just go wherever you want to go. If you ain't got nothing to physically lift them, then you in trouble. So what they do is, if you get 3 or 4 cattle to move, the rest of them will just follow along. My homegirl Tanya that passed away, R.I.P. Queen, she said that's what society is. The cattle call. And I was like, what you mean by that? She's like, everybody do what they told to do. And I used to always think about that. You know, from the time we get up in the morning, we told what to do. The alarm clock tell you when to get up. The meteorologists tell you what the weather gonna be, what to wear outside. The traffic man tell you which way to go and what the traffic is at. Your boss tell you when to punch in, when to take a break. Your supervisor tell you what to do while you at work. Tell you what time you can leave work. You can be getting ready to work. It's 3. You get off at 3:30. It's 3:15. He can come say, you got to work overtime today. You better not leave out of there. You know, now your whole day is interrupted because if you don't hit the bridge by 2 o'clock, by 2:30, it's a parking lot. You might as well stay where you at. You understand what I'm saying? All day long, you go around being told what to do. So then what happens when you start conforming with that, and it goes back to some of these books, the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, all of these books that we read that tell us what to do. Whether they right or whether they wrong, whether you believe in them, whether you don't believe in them, you still told what to do. Instead of being independent thinkers, we're not taught to be independent thinkers. We taught to do what we're told to do. So then when you run across people like me, like some of the other people I know that aren't just going to be willing to be told what to do. We're going to actually think, let me see. Is that right? Maybe should I do that? The weatherman says it's cold outside. Let me step outside, see if it's cold to me. It might be cold to him, but it might not be cold to me. I might don't need a coat on. But the weatherman said it's cold outside, so you about to bundle up, goofy. You know what I mean? So some of these issues some of these people, when you start to conform and you're taught to conform, you don't understand the independent thinker. So now they're hard-headed, conspiracy theorists. So anything they question that you told to do, and if I question that, I'm a conspiracy theorist because I might don't believe in that. You know, so these independent thinkers that, you know, are able to sit there and really, really analyze or do the investigation or do the research to see if what's being told to them is actually true, they're troublemakers. They're troublemakers. You understand what I'm saying? I remember when we was riding across country, me and my partner Mbari, shout out to Mbari, because this is a fact right here. We was riding and he seen on his phone that Joe Biden had nominated Kamala Harris to be his vice president running mate. Right then, it wasn't 5 minutes. He said, I see the play. So what's that? He says, because see, I don't keep up with politics. I ain't voted and ain't never voted. And until the rules to the game that was created change, I'm never going to vote. See what I'm saying? The rules that was established to the game was created before black people were even considered humans. So they can't them law. I don't care who president. I don't care if it's, I don't care who's president. If he's going by those rules that was set in play, it can't benefit us. They might throw us a bone here and there, but if I abuse you 7 days a week, and then I cut back and only abuse you 6 days out the week, to you, that's progress. No, nigga, don't abuse me at all. How about that? How about don't abuse me at all? Now that's progress. You know what I'm saying? But we willing to keep being through a bone here, a bone there. You understand what I'm saying? So no, I don't vote. Me and one of my homegirls, well, I thought she was one of my homegirls till she did some dirty stuff, but that's another story. She called me one night before the election. You gonna vote? I'm like, nah, I'm cool. She went ham on me. Your forefathers fought in wars that died so that you vote. I said, no. They did all that so I could have the right to vote. I don't have to if I don't want to. And just because I don't think it's right for me, I'm not sitting here telling you who to vote for and what to vote for. Nevertheless, Mbari said, I see the play. He said, last time, too many black men voted for Trump. So this time, he gonna get a black running mate and a woman so that these women can make their men vote Democrat. Now, if you a man and you watching this and your woman made you vote, shame on you. Because I got a couple partners who told me they don't vote and they wasn't voting. I called them election. What you doing? Oh, I just left the polls. I went on and voted to keep wifey quiet. That's a whole nother conversation. I ain't even finna get in that. Because if that's who wear the pants in your house, then, you know, more power to your household. But Mbari called it. And now all these dudes went out here. I was debating with one of my guys' wife. She couldn't make no point to why Biden should be the president. Only thing she could say was, well, we got to get Trump out of there. Why? I mean, I was just wondering why, because I'm not into that. I don't care. I was watching Dr. Claude Anderson, somebody who's way more well-versed in politics than me. And yet he still has his opinion. But he said in a two-party race, where there's Democrat and there's Republican, usually whoever gets the black vote wins. Okay. So instead of us just being diehard Democrat or diehard Republican, how about check out the agenda that's being laid out and decide if that best fits you, you know? So if you a Crip, there's absolutely nothing a blood can say to you that's going to make sense. That's goofy to me. That's goofy. You understand what I'm saying? So when Ice Cube had the smarts to have a conversation, and he didn't actually have the conversation. Ice Cube hired lawyers, finance people, and smarter people to draw up his initiative that he proposed to the Republicans. They sat down and listened. The Democrats said, we'll holler at you after the election. Have they hollered at him? Because the Republicans, i.e. Trump, said, here's what we're going to do for the black community and for black people. But the fact that Trump said it, nobody even wanted to listen to it. So then you want to blast Ice Cube. What's old girl in them name? Vivica Fox, Lisa Ray, what's the Claudine or Claudette Jordan? I don't remember their names, but they had him on their show and they was trying to talk slick to him. Well, who are you to this and this and that and this and that? He didn't, first of all, sweetheart, he didn't draw up the plan. He hired people that's smarter than him because that's what good people do. When you're a movie director, you should know Vivica Fox, Lisa Ray. Y'all done been on movie sets. The guy that writes the movie didn't write the script, produce the movie, direct the movie, edit the movie, do the soundtrack. No, he hired people to do certain things. That's what Ice Cube did. So whether you like the Trump or whether you didn't like Trump, you want to bash your brother for wanting to have a conversation. What if this guy's willing to give us our 40 acres and a mule? You don't want it because it was coming from Trump. Goofy. Now, fast forward a year later, what has Biden and Kamala Harris done for you? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Leave me a message. Tell me. Matter of fact, hit that like and that subscribe button. Hit that like and that subscribe button. But tell me, what is it they've done? Because everywhere I look, and once again, I don't get into politics. My uncle called it pile of shits. A pile of shit. Because that's what it is. So now, here it is. Fast forward a year. I see or I hear when I'm channel surfing or whatever, Biden's approval rating has dropped dramatically. You know why? Because once again, the man looked you in your face and lied, but you so staunch Democrat. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. And you don't even know what you believe in. You don't even know what you're voting for. But you was just voting. And the dumbest shit I hear people say, I apologize. Pardon my French, because my auntie and my older cousins and them sometimes watch me, and I got respect for them. I got to excuse my language, cuz, but I'm a little warm right now. However, some of this stuff just don't make sense, that we can't think for ourselves. And if I do think for myself, I'm dumb. You understand what I'm saying? Or I'm a conspiracy theorist, because I may don't want to be jabbed in my arm with something that you don't even know what it is. You don't even know what it is, and you cool with it. And then you say, well, I'm voting for the lesser of two evils. So you don't want to get shot, so you'll vote for the guy that's going to stab you. No, I don't want neither one of y'all to do nothing to me. How about that? Goofy. Again, goofy. And around the politics time on social media, it was a whole lot of going back and forth with people calling each other out because this person might believe this or this person might don't believe that. And I'm sitting there like, wow. But it's only every 4 years. What about the years in between that? Like right now, are y'all holding Biden's feet to the fire for what he said he was going to do? Remember, he said he was going every student loan under $50,000, he was going to forgive. What happened? Did he do it? What happened? What happened? What has Kamala Harris done? I ain't even seen her. I don't know nothing about her. Y'all ain't even do y'all research on her. When he named Kamala Harris his vice president to run for him, I did my Googles. I did the research. I saw what she did as the attorney general or whatever the position she held in California. Terrible job. Terrible job. Same way when Obama came out of nowhere as a presidential candidate, I was like, that's cool. It's a black man, but let me see what his works is. Because see, I done been bit by the snake. You know, the person that comes to you as your friend, and that's the person that line you up, get your biscuit buttered. Yeah, I'd have been, bit by that snake before. So who is Obama? I started doing the research. Guess what? Some people that I know that's in the politics in Chicago says an alderman, he was terrible. They said his work was terrible. So now I'm automatically like, oh my goodness, here they are sliding the black face in on us. And now we thought that he was a heck of a president. Why? Because the nigga do look fly in a Tom Ford suit. I can't lie. The nigga know how to rock a Tom Ford suit. The nigga had a slick fade. He got the walk. He got the swag. He invite Jay-Z to the White House. Him and Beyonce, they kick it. His wife, he got the black wife that don't act like she a white chick. She a real black wife. You know what I mean? So we bit hook, line, and sinker. But what did he do for us? Somebody tell me. Leave me a comment right after you hit that like and that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. What did he do? Correct me. I could be wrong. What did he do? I know a whole lot of these unarmed black men was killed by the president while Obama was in office. I know Chicago exploded into mass violence while Obama was in office. His hometown, the town that he represented in politics, Illinois, Chicago, the hoods of Chicago, where I lived from 92 to 99, one of the bloodiest cities in America, in all the world. Yeah. Same way with the, the FOI, the NOI, you Farrakhan guys. I'm not against Farrakhan, but I ain't finna run around singing his praise. Everything Farrakhan said, because Farrakhan got his opinion too. I might not agree with everything he say. I might agree with some. I don't agree with nothing with everything nobody say. I'm gonna agree. You might make points about this. You might make points about that. I might think you wrong about that, and that's my prerogative. That's my pride because I'm an independent thinker. I don't roll with the cattle call. Just because all my partners in jail claiming Muslim, because you need protection, coward. Because you need protection. So you got to join something. That's why you join Bloods, Crips, Vice Lords, Democrat, Republic, Baptist, Pentecostal, Catholic, Islam, because you need something to be a part of because you don't know how to think on your own. That's your fault. That's your fault. Do the research. Do the research. Don't be scared to think outside the box. You know what I mean? Don't be scared to think outside the box. And just because what somebody else think might not work for you. You might like Coke. I might like Pepsi. How I'm wrong? Because you're a Coke drinker and I'm a Pepsi drinker. How am I wrong? No, that's what you like. So that works for you. Same way with this whole vaccination issue. If you want to get vaccinated and roll with that. But don't get mad at the people that don't want to get vaccinated and vice versa. If you don't want to get vaccinated, don't get mad at the people that do want to get vaccinated. Do what works for you. I heard people coming out when the vaccination for me, and y'all get vaccinated so we can go back outside. What? So we can go back outside? I'm outside anyway. Or you scared you're going to lose your job. And that's that's an understandable fear. You done put in all these years at your job, and then now they're telling you you don't get vaccinated. First of all, that sounds a little shaky to me anyway. Because why ain't they pushing for you to boost your immune? Why the narrative ain't okay? I'll tell you what. If you just hell bent on not getting vaccinated, at least start taking vitamin C, vitamin D, and boost your immune system. At least start boosting your immune system. But nah, it's in all. So what happens if the vaccine ain't what they say it is? And then somehow 3 years from now, they come and tell you took Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccine, you could be entitled to compensation. Because that's what happens with everything else. All these other pills and drugs, the quick fix pills and quick fix drugs, they all got terrible side effects. And then 5 years later, they want to give you compensation because you was a guinea pig from the jump. Knock it off, man. Knock it off. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. When I get a headache, I don't take aspirins. I don't like medicine, period. When my doctor told me my blood pressure was high and I asked her, was there a natural way for me to cure it? And she told me no. I knew she was lying from the jump. I went home and did my research. And guess what I found out? If I cut back on the sodium, if I exercise more, if I drink more water, if I take more vitamins, if I cut back on the sodium, I could lower my blood pressure. And guess what? Guess what? Here it is a couple years later, my blood pressure is basically normal now. When at first it was high, it's basically, why? Because I cut back on the salt, because I started exercising. It's hard work sometimes. Some days I don't want to get up and exercise, but I also don't want to be on no pills. I also don't want to be on lisinopril. I also don't want to be on a pill that may lower my blood pressure, but kill my liver or affect my kidney. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody want the quick fix. Everybody want the quick fix. Sweetheart, you want to take the weight off you. I get it. I get it. Women are about beauty. I get it. But you want to go to this doctor and let him cut it off or suck it off you. And that's cool because that worked and you rocked it for 6 months. But guess what? You never changed your eating habits. You never started exercising. So well, guess what happens in 2 years? 6 G's, 10 G's, 12 G's just gone down the drain. Because now guess what? You back to weighing what you was weighing because you didn't change your habits. How about change your habits and then go get the surgery? Because I understand when you got so much excess skin, no matter if you lose weight, that even looks worse. No, change your habits first. Change your eating habits, change your diet, change your exercise routine. Stop going from the car to the couch, and then go get the surgery. But now, once you get the surgery, your mindset is, I done already changed my habits, so now I can keep it off. Because it ain't about, it's like getting to the NBA. It ain't about getting to the NBA. It's about staying in the NBA. A lot of people get to the NBA. A lot of people get to the NFL, but do you stay there? So that, it ain't about getting to look good. It's about maintaining the look good. You understand? I mean, it's some of this is just elementary. Some of this is simple. Even in relationships, most people I know, I'm not even going to lie to you. Most people I know that's in relationships, they not happy with each other. They not happy with each other. They borderline miserable. And why you would be in a situation where my uncle once told me too, he said, if you're in a situation that you think or you feel like you shouldn't be in, you probably shouldn't be in it. That goes for relationship, a friendship, a business partnership, an apartment lease, a car, finance, whatever it is. If you every day feel like I shouldn't be in this, you probably shouldn't be in it. So most people in relationships, where all they do is, I got a phrase I use, and I call it, most people just fuck and pay bills. You know what I mean by that? I mean, they get up, he go to work, she go to work, he go hang out with his partner, she get on the phone with her friends, they come home, and then in the end they have sex sometimes, but a lot of times they don't, because they're not friends, they're not partners, they're not best friends, they just in a relationship because he don't want nobody else having her. He don't want her, but he don't want nobody else to have her, and she don't want to be alone. So now they both stuck, and they not happy, but they content. And it's like, she's like, well, I'm 48 now. I'd rather be with him than not be with nobody. And he's like, I'm 48 now. I don't want her, but I don't want nobody else to have her. But these are things they're not going to admit. Instead of saying, you know what, let me fall in love with me. And let me get out here, and because there's somebody out here for you exactly like you want. Nobody's perfect, but a person can be perfect for you. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. But a person can be perfect for you. And I'm willing to just keep searching for the happiness than to be content with the unhappiness. That's with anything. That's with anything. That's with a job. That's with a friendship, a relationship. I don't care. I'm willing to be happy with trying to find happiness than be content with being unhappy. And most of y'all content being unhappy. But back to what I was talking about Ice Cube and these independent thinkers, Dave Chappelle, Kanye West. Yeah, some of their rants sometimes be over the top because you don't understand where they're coming from. Kyrie Irving said, I'm not taking a shot. Oh man, this nigga willing to give up 35 million, and so what? If that's what he want to do, you can't criticize him. But because you will do anything for money, so that's them is your morals that's not intact. You'll be willing to do anything for money. So Kanye is crazy. Why? How is he crazy? Kanye, they say, I don't pat niggas' pockets, but they say he worth $9 billion. So then crazy must be the thing to be. Kanye don't work for nobody. Kanye got a brand. Kanye don't get it. See, the difference is guys like Stephen A. Smith get on ESPN and he get a check. They fly him in private planes to these games. He pull up in limos. So he's living a great life. But at what expense? He's got a battery in his back. ESPN tells him what to say to who. Have you noticed that he really only go at black men? I was listening to Kwame Brown and he said something that makes sense. Why is it you always bashing black men? Let me hear it. Why? Same way he bashed Kyrie Irving for 2 weeks about the vaccination. But then when they found out that his hero, Aaron Rodgers, was unvaccinated and lied. Kyrie never lied. Oh, he didn't have the same energy. He didn't have the same energy. until Jay Wills checked him. Then he tried to come back like he had the same energy, but he really didn't have the same energy. You understand what I'm saying? Because these people are telling him what to say and who to attack. These people are telling him what to say and who to attack. Period. Period. So, I mean, cool. If you're willing to do, it's almost, I used to laugh and I used to be like, man, people would do anything for money. It's like if you rode down this highway and you see me on a billboard with my butt cheeks spread wide open, you'll be like, dang, that nigga crazy. First thing you don't call me, you're so biz. What was you tripping on? Man, the people gave me $350,000, man. I wouldn't have did that. But then you'll text me, do they need anybody else to do it? Anybody, they're willing to do anything for the money. Stop being money driven. Be morally driven. Stop being money driven. Be morally driven. Morally driven. Be about morals. Be about respect and honor. Be about things that's going to last longer than money. Be about things that's going to last longer than money. Have integrity. Be honorable. Look at people for what they do good. And then if they do things bad, leave them alone. Don't just go associating yourself with people that's bad just because it's beneficial to you. But if that's how, once again, if that's how you rock, cool, you got to live with that. I choose not to rock like that. I choose to try to do the research on the things that I'm into. I try to investigate and make rational, educated decisions on the things that I do and the things that I don't do. I'm not young no more. I'm not in my 20s. Now, when I was in my 20s and my 30s, I just thought on the fly. Anything that, and I thought just like most other people I was with. Now, I always kind of been a little off thinking. I always kind of been like, okay, you know, I'm from the Bay. Everybody Raider and 49er fans. I didn't want to be a Raider and 49er fan. So I chose somebody else. I didn't want to be what everybody else is. I want to be, if everybody else is wearing blue, I want to wear something else that's not blue. Just to be like, especially if it's a theme, if that's what we agreed to, okay, we having a blue party. Everybody gonna wear blue. Okay, cool. But if your favorite celebrity tell you to wear blue, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not making influence-based decisions. If somebody wears something and I like it, cool. Cool. I personally don't like Gucci. I don't wear it. I'm not knocking you if you do, but I'm definitely not going to wear it because it costs $1,000 for a pair of frames just so I can say I got on Gucci. That's an insecurity right there to me. If you need things to make people value you, that's your problem. You need things to make people value. That's why people go on social media and they post the new car they got. No. Now, if you advertising, that's one thing. It's one thing if you have a business and you advertising, then that's one thing. But if you always posting what you eating, what you wearing, what you driving, why? What is that about? Tell me. Somebody leave a message in the comments and tell me what that's about after you hit the like and the subscribe button. Tell me what that's about. What's important about somebody seeing you eating at Ruth Chris? You don't really get to eat at Ruth Chris much. So you need people to know that, hey, I can afford to eat at Ruth Chris. Congratulations. Pat on the back. 2 thumbs up. May God keep blessing you to be able to eat at Ruth Chris. You understand? You on social media for what? If you ain't on social media trying to get money, what are you on there for? Once again, I remember in 2012, I just told my son this yesterday. I wish I had got on Instagram when he suggested it to me in 2012. But I remember I asked him, I was like, what is Instagram? Well, you know, you put pictures up, people follow you, follow them. I don't want no niggas following me. I damn sure ain't gonna be following no niggas. But I didn't have a product I was selling at the time. Now I understand that if you're selling a product, it's almost mandatory to be on social media. I hate it though. I got people that handle. I pay a few dollars to have somebody handle my social media because I don't have time to do that all day, every day. Some days I don't even want to cut my phone on. My partner Kenny Upchurch one time told me, he's like, man, I like to be proactive some days and not always reactive. And I understood what he meant. When you got your phone, it's ringing, it's texting, it's emails pinging all day long. You're responding. So when do you have time to think and use your own mind? Some days I get in the car and make 2, 3, 4 hour car rides. I don't cut on no music. I just ride and think. I reflect. I think. I think about dumb things I done or decisions that I made that wasn't so smart so that I don't do them again. I think about things that I want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't always want to hear music. I don't want to hear nothing. I want to hear myself. I want to hear the wheels in my brain churning. That's what this is. That's that logo. That's that machine gear. Stay busy apparel. That's that machine gear. The mind steady growing. The body, always the body don't always got to be moving. And you do have to rest. But if you out here trying to be something and be what you want to be, you have to grind. And that's what the machine gear do. It grinds. The machine grinds and it prints out or it works or it hauls or whatever it does. But it grinds. Stop being a part of the cattle call. I remember when I lived in Chicago, my son's grandmother, mother, we call her mother. Shout out to mother. Mother still around. Mother like running up on 90, still around. Mother's husband, who we call father, he was telling me that in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, all the schools in Chicago had trade programs. That's why they was all called vocational or techs. Chicago Tech, Simeon Tech. There was CVS, Chicago Vocational Schools. They taught a lot of these trades. Somewhere along the line, so we turned into an industrialized society where you get your ass up at between 5:30 and 7:30. You get your ass to work in that warehouse, that factory, or that mill. You work hard for them little wages. You take a lunch. You go home. You try to get your credit straight so that you can buy you a house, a 30-year mortgage on the house, which is literally the worst deal you'll ever make in your life. And then you try to live out the next 30 years to pay this house off and retire. And now you stuck to that for 30 years. You stuck to that. And with that house, 90% of the time, it's not going to happen. With that job, 90% of the time, it's not going to happen. So then when it do happens, you look up somewhere around 65, 70, you can retire. You get your gold watch, you get your gold pen. Now you can go fishing or you can just do nothing you want to do. Well, hell, nigga, you late in the fourth quarter in your life now. These youngsters ain't doing it like that these days. These youngsters ain't buying houses. they leasing and they renting. They living all over the place. They Airbnb, they Ubering. They ain't even buying cars. They ain't even financing cars. They Ubering. My son just told me, man, I'm finna sell my car. I just Uber around. In my generation, that was inconceivable that you could not want a car. And the better, because we didn't know. But see, now the gift and the curse of social media. So the curse is, like I said, but the gift is it's way more opportunities and it's way more knowledge out here. And it's way more ways to make money. See, you can DoorDash and make the same money that somebody making $20 an hour is making. At the end of the day, after you DoorDash, you can come home with a couple $100, 150, couple $100. How many hours you got to work at the job to get $150 if you just got a regular job? Now, if you got a career, that's different. If you got a skill, that's different. If you're doing something you like to do, That's different. But most people get up and go give a job that they hate going to, they very best 8 to 12 hours a day. Think about that. Think about that. I'm from the Bay. So check this out. You live in the Bay. You go, dang. You live in the Bay. You go, so you can't afford to live in the Bay because the houses are ridiculous. So you live in Stockton, Modesto, Los Banos, Dos Palace. You live all the way in these places that's going to take you 2.5 hours to get to work. So you got to be at work at 8. What time you got to get up? What time you got to leave the house? So you at least got to get up at 5. Let's just say you get up at 5. You get on the highway at 5:30 to get to work at 8 to make $30 an hour, $35 an hour because you've been at your job for a minute. You get to work, put your work in. If you work at 8, you don't get off till 4. You get off at 4. By the time you get back home, it's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Now you got 10 hours before you got to do this again. And you need to sleep at least 6 hours. So you might got 4 hours to enjoy the kids, enjoy some kind of entertainment, work around the house, whatever it is you do. You got 4 hours. And that's what you boiled your life down to, 4 hours a day. And 1 day a week, Saturday. Because Sunday don't count, because Sunday you got to get ready to do it again Monday. What you better off doing is getting you a job in Stockton for $16 to $18 an hour, and then getting you a part-time job. Because that commute, that 2.5 hour commute each way is a part-time job. That's 5 hours that you're not getting paid. I remember I said that to one of my homegirls. You know what she did? She called me like a week later. She was like, you know what, dude? You made sense by what you said. Now, I've been in my job too long to do that, but that makes sense. If I was a person that was fresh on my job, I wouldn't be commuting. But, I'm 18 years in, so I understand that. See, because every situation ain't the same. So she's 18 years in. I understand that. She got a few more years, and actually now she got it to where she worked from home. The pandemic allowed her to work from home. So she keep her salary. She don't got to make the commute. But now I'm finding out that companies are saying, well, if you don't live in this zip code, I'm starting to pay you by where your zip code is. Ooh, that's crazy. So you mean to tell me that you can work for one of these big companies and make this, and then because you live over here, now we're going to monitor. We can just more control. It's just more control. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Don't stop being part of the cattle call, man. Start having your own ideas, your own agenda. Start being an independent thinker. It's one thing I can say about these youngsters, the ones that ain't out here on foolishness. They are independent thinkers. They do have more of an entrepreneurial spirit than my generation, and definitely the generation before me. But the first few generations coming out of slavery had the most entrepreneurship. But then they started making us Democrats, and they started giving us handouts. But they only started spoon feeding us. Because what happens when a black person moves to an affluent neighborhood? The prices of the houses go down. They start redlining you, because on a credit application, they can't ask you if you're black or if you're white, but they can check your zip code. And if most of the people in that zip code live over here, that's called redlining. See, most people don't even know that. So that's why when dudes be doing little credit things, they use zip codes in areas where the houses cost a little money or where there's a predominantly white population so that they don't get redlined. You understand what I'm saying? So it's your boy So Busy, man. Stay busy apparel. Back at you, boss talking. Just trying to get you up on something, man. If you know better, you do better, right? Okay, so hopefully in this 40-minute conversation, You learned something. 35, 40-minute conversation, you learned something, because that's all I try to do. When I learn, I try to pass it on. I don't try to hold the knowledge. I don't try to hold the game. I'm securing myself. I don't try to hoard the information. Oh, I ain't going to tell him this because he might make more money than me. Hey, dude, they over there hiring. Hey, the opportunity is over there. Go get it. And if you go to the moon when SBA loans came out, just last one, when the SBA loans came out, I was at my cousin's house. And I was laughing because I got a small amount on my loan. Everybody I told about the loans legally, everything, all this was legal. I don't do nothing illegal. Everybody that I told about the loans got more money than me. So I was laughing. I was like, yeah, cuz everybody I told about the loans, they got more money than me. Their friend said, yeah, that's why you got to watch what you tell people. I didn't understand that. Later on, I called my cousin. I was like, cuz, did you hear what she said? She's like, man, I heard that. And she the same person that, do this and do that and do that. It's like some people, it's what Kanye said the other day. He said that Jay-Z said the crabs in the barrel. He's like, why are crabs in the barrel? That's a good question. For us to be crabs in a barrel, why are there crabs in a barrel? That ain't a crabs in habitat. Crabs don't supposed to live in barrels. Right? I mean, just some of this stuff we got to think about what we say. We got to think about what we say. When a person say, well, I don't really need that. I'm cool with this. You settling because you're supposed to go try to get what it is you want. You're not supposed to say, oh, I don't really need this. I'm cool with this. You settling. So with that being said, again, get out the cattle call, man. If everybody's going right, step back for a minute and be like, dang, why everybody going? What's wrong with going left? Let me see. Oh, that little crowd that's going left, they over there bubbling. Why everybody going right? Because they don't want them to bubble. I mean, sometimes those be the situations. Not all the time. But just think for yourself sometimes, right? It's another episode of Boss Talk 94303. Hit that like and that subscribe button. This your boy So Busy. Sponsored by Stay Busy Apparel. 100. Boss Talk. That's what we're doing over here. Hey, yo, thanks for tuning in to Boss Talk 94303. And if you want to keep the good content coming, hit that like and that subscribe button, man. And we'll keep doing what we're doing for you, all right? Holla back.